So tell me, Vedika, you are at NTU, which has got that technology focus, and you went to study, like you're currently studying business there. And of course, there's business analytics, so there's some data science and all of that involved there too. But what do you think is the focus of the university, and what resources are available for business majors at NTU?
Firstly, I'd like to clarify that I haven't started doing my specialization yet. I just completed my first year, which was basically, it's a, my first year had all the foundation courses of business that all business majors have to do. And then since there are six specializations in business, so we choose our specializations in year two, and year one has all the common courses that are our core courses here. So one thing I'd like to mention is that NTU does focus a lot of. It has a focus on keeping you in line with what's going in the real world, in the real corporate world. I had no clue that coding was this important for business students. When I came in NTU, I realized that it's very important for even the business students, no matter what field you're going to aim for. You need to learn coding. You need to know the basics of Python at least. So that, and then we had a lot of diverse courses, I'd say. Like I had communication fundamentals, accounting, financial management, and at the same time I had technological innovations, where they taught us about IoT, machine learning, stuff like that. So they do focus on a lot of diverse things. And as far as resources are concerned, NTU is excellent at that, because especially for the NBS kids, by NBS I mean the Nanyang Business School, we have a separate organization under NTU focusing on only providing us resources and job opportunities, only the NBS students. So it's called Career Fit here. Okay, so there you have you can schedule appointments for your resume review, or let's say interview preparation. So in terms of that, they make sure that you're ready to go get a job. And then there are also other events that they organize on their own. We have a lot of networking sessions. There's one almost every day. So in fact, there's so many opportunities, so many resources that it would be a hard time choosing which one to aim for and where to go. So
Excellent. Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. So, what all did you get involved with in towards your business major, and how did you decide on the concentration of business analytics?
When I and during my first year, I spent more time on discovering what actually I'm interested in. When I came here to NTU in the very beginning, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to take banking or finance, or let's say business analytics or risk management. So during this first year, I was exposed to courses like statistics and analysis, where they taught us R programming. R programming is it's a kind of complex programming language, and it's mostly focused on statistical analysis. So that's why we use that. And that was my first time learning programming and coding. So then I realized I actually like coding. So I started learning Python, and I got kind of inclined to that whole area of analysis using programming. So business analysis is exactly that. It does that. And my specialization would be using Python and R to figure out what to solve business problems. And
So, can
since
you
I
give
all
some inputs as to what kind of cases that you study? Like, how do you apply business analytics in the real world for the layman and for the students who are good with numbers
Mhm.
but don't know what this is?
So one thing I like to say is business analytics is something that you could have in any department of any organization. So let's say if I'm in the marketing department, one very good example is actually of social media organizations. So you can say like companies like Netflix. They use business analytics a lot because they need to focus on how much people are viewing, what kind of content they like. So these kind of data you accumulate them, and then you crunch those numbers, and then you interpret something from them, and that's how you make business decisions. So that's the process of business analytics.
Great. So it seems that you're pretty motivated as a student. Do you get additional resources to work with? Are there projects you do? Collaborate with other students?
Yes, we can do that a lot. For example, during the COVID, a lot of international students haven't gone back home. So the university is offering a lot of they're offering free courses that are otherwise you could not take, and also there you can collaborate with the professors to be their research assistant, and that you get paid for that, and also it's a good thing for your resume, and you learn a lot of skills as well.
So
Um,
you haven't gone back home, and of course you're in Singapore now. What opportunities? How are you filling your time? Are classes off for summer?
Yeah, classes are off, but a lot of students here are doing a minor in entrepreneurship because NTU's minor in entrepreneurship program happens during the summer. It happens during your holidays. So that's why to spend time and actually gain real skills, students are going for that. Some of them are
Are you doing that too? Are you doing that entrepreneurship?
no, I'm
Okay.
focusing on an internship.
Okay.
So the aim is to get an internship. If people cannot get an internship, they go for these courses, or they try to they try to get in touch with professors and ask to become their research assistants. So one thing or the other always works out. It's not like we're killing time. We're just getting bored or killing time doing
Sure,
nothing.
sure, sure. As far as looking at post-COVID, has the university given you any signals of how the classes are going to be? Are they going to be online or in person? Any news as yet?
No, that was actually all of us were a little disappointed because we expected that a university would say that they could have online classes, because some of the other universities here in Singapore, like NUS, they declared that they might have online classes for international students who've gone back, but instead NTU told us that since it would be difficult to get back to India, get back to Singapore after if you go back to your home country. So they may give us a leave of absence, which means we'll have to sit at home for, let's say, 6 months at least. So a lot of students did not go back to their home due to this notice.
So NTU is considered a large university when you compare it with smaller liberal arts colleges elsewhere in the
Yeah,
US
it's
and
very
elsewhere.
large.
Is the business major also a very large program?
Yes, it's one of the largest here.
How
Yeah.
many students are there in the business major?
I don't have an exact idea,
But okay,
but
substantial,
it's a
about
really
1,000
large
or so.
cohort size.
Okay, great. So, are the classes also very large, or do you get chance
No,
sort of
there are
attend smaller
numerous
seminars?
batches here. So a class would have, let's say, 20 to 30 students, 30 max, I'd say. Um or at least my classes had 30 max. Some of them could have 35, or it never crosses 40, that's for sure. So classes aren't that big. You do get individual focus of the professor, and you could always ask questions. As far as the faculty is concerned, they're really helpful, and you could reach for example, during my exam times, I used to email my professor for any doubts, and I used to receive a reply within 5 minutes of emailing. So in terms of that, they're really supportive.
Seems to be like a very good and supportive community. Vedika, so if you were to tell us a little bit about life in Singapore and
Okay.
as a student, what is it that you've seen has changed you as a person, and did it match your expectations? And what else would you hope Singapore or NTU could do to make students and even you more happy?
So in terms of life here, I'd say I've just had 2 semesters here in NTU yet, and my first semester I went out a lot. I went with my friends to play to, let's say, Marina Bay Sands and all these places, and it's really fun living here. But the only problem is, since I mentioned NTU is in the far west of of the country, so it's actually very secluded. So if you're in NTU, the campus is where you live all the time, and there are only a few marketplaces nearby to go to if you want to get out of the campus. And but since Singapore itself isn't big enough, you can get to any part of Singapore within 30 minutes. So if you compare it to Delhi or any other Indian city, it's nothing, to be honest. And as far as the students here are concerned, it's one thing I did not like was that it's not as international I thought it would be. There are mostly Asian kids here. You won't see any European or, let's say, American kids unless they're exchange students. And exchange students, you would not see much interaction between exchange students and the full time students here. So everyone's in their own groups, and but I did get a lot of different. There are people inside Asia also. There's so many countries, so people from all kinds of Asian countries come here, and you definitely would notice a lot of personal development here, interacting with all these kind of different culture, all these people from different cultures.
Great. So now I'm going to ask you a question related to your application journey and choosing to study in Singapore versus any other country. What was it like choosing and researching colleges, and how did you arrive to a decision to go to NTU?
First of all, I like to thank Ed Brand for making the process very easy for me. Honestly, it's very overwhelming sometimes to write your personal statement and all those. You have to write a lot of essays because each college has a different application procedure, different requirements. So yeah, Ed Brand helped me a lot for that. And as far as NTU is concerned, honestly, after filling out the application, I was not expecting them to select me because it almost went blank. They basically want your Olympia. They want your Olympiad ranks and everything, and then you get direct entry into the university. And I never focused on Olympiads during my entire school life. So rest they only asked for my school marks, board marks, and some background information and a bunch of other stuff, but not really about my extracurriculars or anything. So I wasn't expecting to get selected. So I'd say they focus a lot on your boards marks, at least for the business courses. But if you're aiming to get into a science course, let's say CS or Triple E or something, then you need to have a really good profile.
Super. So, and even choosing options, you had overlapping colleges in Singapore or even in Hong Kong. Was it an easy decision
Yeah.
for you to just stick with NTU?
In my case, yes, because when I had to make the decision, HQ, Hong Kong already had its riots going on. So my parents didn't really want me to send there. And in my opinion, I found NTU better than SMU. I had applied to SMU as well. And when I got NTU's acceptance, I did not try for SMU. That's why it was a very easy decision for me. But SMU is also equally good. It actually depends on what you're aiming for.
Got it. So finally, I just ask a few rapid fire questions to get to know you a bit better. If you were to,
Okay.
live this lockdown and everything goes back to normal, what are the three things you would do for yourself, for your mind,
Yeah.
body, and soul? Like, how would you seize the opportunities which are, say, somehow not available right now?
I will definitely go out of my campus and take my friends along, go for a trip nearby. So there's a really nice island really close to Singapore. It's called the Bintan Island. We're really planning to go there. I think we'll do that if we get the
Nice.
opportunity. Yeah.
So another rapid fire. If you had three words to
Yeah.
describe your strengths, which three words would you pick?
I think I be accurate. Um, what else? Hardworking and really focused.
Super. It was really a pleasure
Yeah.
getting to know you and extending my knowledge of you as a person, not just as a high school student we've worked with. So thank you again for all the good things that you do. We'd love to follow your academic journey and even professional growth in the future. So looking forward to staying in touch.
Thank you, Arjun, so much.